Hey, what's up everyone? It's Frankie with Two Techs and a Tool. Hey, this morning I wanted to just tell you my experience with the Kobalt battery operated equipment. So my work schedule keeps me out of town a lot, and I've been having my lawn done, but now that I'm back home more frequently, I decided to get myself some new equipment and take on the chore of my yard myself again. And so I went out and bought the Kobalt battery operated 40 volt max 19-inch mower. Now this particular mower comes with a 40 volt battery, and then I got the Kobalt 40 volt max weed trimmer or edger, and then along with that I got the Kobalt 40 volt max blower. And so those three items I used today on my yard for the first time. And I wanted to just give you my experience with everything and what I thought. So my yard's not real big. We'll just look back at my yard here. You notice I've got a corner house, an older brick style home, and just kind of a small front yard. And then if I walk over here to the side of my yard, you'll notice I have just a small side area here. And it just goes back to where you see that Jeep there. And I've got a little section out between the sidewalk and the street. And so what I did is I used the mower to mow, the edger and trimmer to trim, and the blower to blow this section of my yard. And so my experience is that when I was done with this section of the yard, that my mower had 2 bars left on the battery, my trimmer had 2 bars left on the battery, and my blower had 1 bar left. And so I then went over to another section of our yard that we're going to tear out and turn into zero landscape. It was overgrown with weeds pretty big. So I mowed this down, and when I was done, my mower that had 2 bars when I started was completely dead. Just mowing this little section with big weeds. So, you know, it really sucks down the power. It did do the job, but it was slow. I had to go real slow because it was just, you know, bogging down the mower pretty heavy. As well as I started, I weed-eated this, and it was fine. When I was done, I still had 2 bars left. And then I started using the blower and blew everything back in, and the battery went dead, so I had to take the battery from the trimmer and put it in my blower to finish this little section up. So right now as it stands, I've got 1 bar left on my blower, which is the battery that was in the trimmer, and the battery that came with the blower is completely dead, and the battery that came with the mower is completely dead. That's after just mowing this little section here, front and side, and then taking down some pretty heavy weeds in this little section here. And so that's my experience. If to be honest with you, my yard isn't big enough to worry about the battery situation so much, so I'm going to keep the blower and the trimmer. I can swap the batteries out if I want to. I could probably order another battery. I think they do the job. They're plenty powerful enough. They work just fine, and I really enjoy not having to worry about gasoline and all of that junk. Usually what happens to me is I can't get my trimmer to start, so I don't end up trimming, and so my yard just doesn't look as good. Well, that won't happen with these. You know, you can, even if you had to wait and recharge the battery and do it, you're going to be in good shape. The mower, on the other hand, it did a good job. I mean, if you look at the yard, I didn't read the instructions like I should have, and I left the little mulcher plug in. So I wasn't even bagging my grass, which I normally do. I mulched this yard today, and I think that used more power than it would have if I had been bagging. But I really think the 19-inch is not wide enough, and so I would opt, if you want to go with the battery-operated mower, I would opt for the 21-inch and the dual battery. Probably will do a good job. I'm going to go ahead and go back to gas for my lawnmower just because of the experience I had over here in the heavy grass. I still travel some. I'm not real, you know, on the clock when it comes to my yard, and so I may get some longer weeds, and I just need the power of gas, and so I'm going to go back to that for my mower. if you have a normal routine every week of mowing your grass and you don't have a yard much bigger than me, I think you'll be plenty happy even with the 19-inch Kobalt. I really do think so. So anyway, that's my experience with this equipment, and I hope it helped you. I watched some of the other videos on and other reviews on these equipment, and all you do is stand around watching somebody mow their lawn, which is ridiculous, and somebody else was sitting around just showing you the device and not saying anything. So I hope my review is a little bit better than those, and will let you know, convince you whether to buy this equipment or not. Thanks for watching. Two Techs and a Tool.